Hello and Ashe. I promised in my book haul video that I will talk about this one, Merlin's Book of Magick and Enchantments by Neville Drury. Well, it's a horrible, horrible book and you shouldn't get it. No. Now, let me tell you what I was expecting and what I was wanting and what I received. First of all, I really wanted a book about magic and wonder that you could probably give a kid. And if you raise a kid in a witchcraft family, it's not like you hide the witchcraft until they are grown enough. And there are some women in our pagan community, one of which that I would teach witchcraft, that I felt that her baby would need a good pagan book to learn its basic witchcraft. And I thought this Merlin Book of Magick and Enchantment could be like the cutest little thing. And okay, one of its most positive attributes is it's attractive format. First of all, it's a hardcover. I like hardcovers myself. If I could afford it, everything that I would own would be a hardcover book. It's resilient, it's hard, you can write stuff on it, you can put like a paper and write stuff on it. And the pages are like this very thick parchment-like thing, and there are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pictures in there. The format is extremely attractive, but the text is quite horrible. First of all, the first part of the book. Okay, this has like 160 pages. The first 60 pages is about the story of Merlin, as it seems in the Arthurian legends. Now, okay, and this might be a bit too demanding here, but for me as a storyteller, and I do tell stories, and for me as a writer, if I'm writing about an old story, I need a new angle. I need something that makes this story relevant for this day and age. I need to see the actions of the old deities being made, shown, explained. And this doesn't. This just takes the story. It's basically, putting the Arthurian tales in Merlin's eyes, okay? In which you wait to see until, okay, this story writer, how is he going to explain basically the magic that Merlin did in order to make Uther look like someone else, to ingrain, Gilroy, I think, and how would he feel about this? Well, in our culture, tricking women into having sex with you is rape. But the Merlin of this book just find it as like a fun amusement. So feminists, I'm not a big feminist myself, but I found it extremely offensive. And again, it's a modern book. It doesn't really give you the version that Mallory wrote in his books. There needs to be an excuse to retell that story. You don't have to retell that story. You don't. You really don't. There are many worthy stories out there to tell. This could have been the Book of Arthurian Magic and Witchcraft. It didn't have to be the Merlin Book of Magic and Witchcraft. Why was Merlin chosen for this? Well, because this name sells. Like a lot of ancient grimoires, like for instance, Key of Solomon the King. It wasn't written by King Solomon. It was just a name to give the author some credibility. Okay, it's like saying, my necklace was made by Christian Dior. The name gives it something to sell it by, and the name Merlin here really comes to sell this thing. And again, most of it is basically, the 60 pages is the story. It's being told in ye old English, which is it's not really the old English that would make the reader like, you know, struggling enough to go and learn new words or expand his or she's vocabulary, okay? And afterwards, it's basically trying to teach you like a very filtered version of Wicca. And then it tries to teach you witchcraft and also how to hex your friends. Now, what that book actually has to say about the elements, or to say about meditation, or to say about walking magic is really written badly. It's written really, really, really badly. And to make mischief against those who offendeth thee, and also how to place a curse upon your enemies. I'm not making this up. And you know, when I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, I've seen that somewhere else, I've seen that somewhere else. And then I see this. And you pagan people who read books, you know where this is from. North, south, east, west, spider web shall bind him best. East, west, north, south, trap his limb and hold his mouth. Seal his eyes and choke his breath, and make him feel he's bound for death. Which is an abbreviation of, yes, Valerie Worth. If you're thinking Valerie Worth, you take the cake. He stole that book, he stole that spell, the one nice valid spell he had here, even though he abbreviated it, so, you know, it wouldn't be so deathly. Even though Valerie herself, it is mentioned in this book that Valerie didn't want her spells to be used as hexes. He stole this from the book, no credit, no bibliography, no nothing. And I'm shocked that this is even feasible or acceptable. I mean, come on, people, okay? So, there is nothing good in that book besides its attractive format. I was looking for it, and I wonder what would happen if that book gets in the hands of a kid, because this looks like a children's book. This looks like an attractive little children's book. Or what happens if this good book is, like, you know, getting worse into the hands of a teenager that can't even get anything by Raven Silverwolf or some other bad author like that. Okay? I'm speechless. The quality of this book is horrible. And I don't know, have you read this book? Have you even heard about this book? Because, you know, I got this for $1.50 in a thrift bookstore. I'm not even going to give it back. I'm going to keep it like as a memento. This is like the worst book of magic I've ever read. And I hope this Neville Drury is not the same Neville Drury that wrote this, the Watkins Dictionary of Magic or the Dictionary of the Esoteric, because those books are really great. But Neville, if you were the one that wrote this, please, you know, it's a shame of your past. I'm sorry I couldn't let you keep that buried, but, you know, if you ever get this book, really I recommend that you would cut out the artwork and make collage or small pictures out of it, because this is basically the only thing it's used for. I'm sorry to give a bad review, but really, this book is not worth your time and money. Goodbye.